Hey guys, Mark Lemons here. Excited to be joined today by my good friend and business partner, Tammy Tway. Tammy is in Grand Junction, Colorado, and serves, really, I think like a tri-county area out there. I'll let her tell you a little bit more about herself, but we're going to do a little interview today. We're going to jump in and kind of hit just some of her why, her EXP story, and look also at just some of the things that make her unique. And so love for you guys to hear from her. So Tammy, thanks for joining me here today. Love for you to just share a little bit about who you are and a little bit about your business background.
Sure. Thanks, Mark. First off, I have to say it's really been a blessing to partner with you and be on the journey with you for EXP Realty. I am a 16-year real estate veteran, per se, and
broker.
And broker.
That's right.
I had a small brokerage for about 9 years and loved being my own business person. And yes, I serve about 3 different counties in my area. A lot of the areas that I service are rural. So we have had just a great year this year, and I really contribute a lot of that to EXP. So just happy to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I'd love to hear a little bit about just what's your EXP story? Like, what made you decide to close down your brokerage and move your business and your teammates with you to EXP? What was so compelling about it? Why did you say, yeah, I'm in?
Well, we all have an EXP story, all of us. Yeah. And my story actually began a year prior to me joining EXP.
Yeah. I
had my own brokerage. I had a small team of agents and was just looking for something. I met you and listened to the story and just really was busy and didn't really think too much about it. One day, about a year later, I'm sitting in my actually brick and mortar office by myself on a Saturday
office, right?
Yeah, on a Saturday afternoon, and I'm climbing through piles of files that I just hadn't had time to look at, and doing the compliance portion of the files, and something just said, this is crazy. This is crazy. I would much rather be at home with my family or out helping people, right? Out selling real estate. And that year I had a couple hard deals. I knew that, I hadn't done anything wrong, but it just became really, really hard. And so when you're your own broker, you're liable. You have to be there, if something comes up and, it's really difficult, you have to spend the time, you have to put in the work, and you have to make sure everything's kosher on the brokerage side and your license. And so for me, those 2 things really hit hard. And I thought, EXP Realty allows me to continue my perception of my brokerage. So I was able to transfer, my company name at that time was the Home Team Realty.
Right.
And so I transferred even my logo. The only thing that changed was I got rid of the Realty. And so I kept the Home Team at EXP Realty.
Love it.
And so it was really a no-brainer. It was really not even noticeable to any of my clients. And I was able to, now I'm 100% able to sell real estate and do the things that I love to do and not worry about compliance items. I have a transaction coordinator.
Love it. Yeah.
So that's my story. Absolutely. I've been with EXP now 3 years. Absolutely love it.
Yeah. So when you were making that decision and moving over, obviously you're evaluating this from a business perspective. You're evaluating it like, okay, how is this going to affect my family life, and looking
Mhm.
at it kind of from a lot of different angles. But what about the EXP business model was most compelling to you?
Well, I knew, with my history and with my business, I didn't have to worry about me hitting my cap.
Right.
And I think the cap, all of us that own our own brokerage, we get 100% commission.
Right.
However, you have all the business expenses that are included in there in regards to systems, rent for your brick and mortar offices, training,
Mhm.
time that you're making sure that your team or your agents that are with you, all of that. So added all of that up, and I knew it was a no-brainer for
Yeah.
me. It was a really easy decision.
Yeah. Love that. Now that you're 3 years into this, has your view of the EXP business model changed at all? I mean, you've been here 3 years. Obviously, you like it enough to stick around. Um, and actually, I don't want to steal your thunder, but you told me, in in Vegas a couple or month or so back, I'm not going anywhere. This is it for me. But has your view changed from before you joined to now 3 years in?
Absolutely. So, where I thought I was going to actually get a few bits and pieces with EXP, I have seen much more. So, a couple of the items, not only from a liability standpoint, compliance standpoint, time standpoint, what I was looking at before, but it actually has come to, this company gives to the agent. No
Yeah.
other company does that.
Right.
So
Yes.
now I have a retirement account,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm a shareholder of a company. And if I didn't do anything else, I would still be a shareholder just for doing the business that I did before,
Right.
right?
Yeah. That's a great way to put it.
So not only the stock, and being a shareholder, having a retirement account, but also the hours and hours of training, the hours of collaboration that I get with you and other realtors in this company. It's like having your own personal mastermind, right?
Right.
You get to pick and choose who you want to spend time with and who you want to learn from and who you want to share and grow with. And you identify those and you just go. Um, the only company that I know, and prior to being my own broker, of course, I was with another agency. And, the whole perspective in EXP is so different from a regular brick and mortar franchise where it's dog eat dog and it's so competitive, and you feel like you're kind of the lone wolf out there. This is everyone's helping.
Right.
We're helping everyone out there.
Yeah.
Um, if I'm in the workplace and someone asks a question in my state, I'm answering it
Yeah.
just because I can.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're describing one of our core values of collaboration. And I love that too. I love that aspect that when you have a business model where interests are aligned for
Mhm.
you to do well and me to do well at the same time without either of us being sacrificing something to get that win, it it's an amazing there's amazing synergy that comes from that, and it truly is a win-win scenario. The way I describe it is a rising tide lifts all boats, and I've not seen that at any other brokerage more so than at EXP. So love that. Collaboration is strong here. Um, like the what is it, the Yoda quote? The force is strong in this one, right?
Yeah.
The collaboration is strong at EXP. um, but so what are maybe some of the things that have surprised you about EXP that kind of you're like, I know you mentioned the brokerage and the retirement aspect, but has there been anything that's kind of like, yeah, I wasn't expecting this, but it's been so refreshing uh, because of this at EXP?
Well, I think there are many of things that is actually a surprise. Being in the business for 16 years, I can still go to a training in the cloud,
Yep.
whether it be an icon training, which is, the top 2% realtors in the business, or just go to a system training or a training on leads or whatever. And I can still take pieces and nuggets of that, right?
Yeah.
And take it back to my team, or just kind of figure out how I want to utilize that in my business. So it's 50 hours of training, our company on average every week.
Yeah.
So that was huge. That is huge. And then the aha moment about being able to receive an income for just helping people.
Yeah.
Helping other real estate agents, come and see what this company is all about and share our success and help them along the way and being rewarded for that.
Yeah. Love it.
Um,
Well, one of the things you mentioned was that top 1 or 2% of agents being that icon agent. Now, I don't know if people know or not, but you recently were awarded as an icon agent. Tell me a little bit about that, what that means to you, and just what difference it's made in your life and business.
So I perceive myself as a driver. I am a driver.
Right?
I want to be successful. Challenges for me are great. I strive to be the best I can be personally and in business. So I came so close the last 2 years of hitting icon agent. So I would always hit my cap.
Yep.
So the cap at our company is relatively small,
Love it.
but I would hit it and then receive, of course, 100% of my commission. To make icon, you have to reach a certain number of sides after that. And so the last 2 years, I came so close. And this year I'm going to do it. Yeah. Nothing is going to stop me. I am going to do it. Yeah. And so, I'm big on vision boards. In January, I made my vision board. Icon agent was the big, huge thing on my vision board. I was going to do it, and I did. And, what that means is that I received my cap back from the company in, numerous different ways, but to celebrate that was just tremendous, because that means I'm in the top 2% of agents in this company.
I love it. Yeah. So I got a little hat right back up here that says icon. I don't know if you can read that or not, but I just got that this week. I know. Yay. We had a little party in San Antonio, and San Antonio has a few more agents than out there in Colorado, which I love that the opportunity there for agents in Colorado that they could reach out to you, connect with you, and you can help them grow and help really our company grow, because the opportunity is better than any other company out there. I firmly believe. And if somebody wants to try to convince me otherwise, I'm all ears. But yeah. I really don't think there's a better business model to do real estate at than EXP. But so got this little hat up there, and I'm gonna send you one as well, Tammy. So need to get that heading your way, but want you to celebrate that and be able to put that up on a little mantle or wear it around or whatever you want to do with it. But just it's funny that there's a company out there that used to give little hats every time you capped. Every year you'd get a little hat that said capper, and that's all that they would give you for capping. Well, we've got something that just kind of does that up a notch or two, where you get all of your $16,000 cap back in the form of company stock that grows over time as our company grows, and love that. That's a reality, and it's available. It's an award available to everybody, not just one or two or whatever, but it's available to anybody who's out there hustling and selling a lot of real estate. And so,
I don't know about you, Mark, but I'd much rather have monetary reward
yes,
than a little, glass award
right,
or plastic award
right.
that says how great I am.
Yeah. Well, you
My
can also
family,
go ahead. Sorry.
my family would also, right?
Absolutely. It's a little bit of a legacy for our families, right? And
Right.
I mean, people like to get awarded. They like to be patted on the back, right? And
Right.
the attaboys are good, and the plastic or glass awards or whatever it is, and plaques and trophies, all that are nice, but the monetary is really, I think, what a lot of us are more interested in. And but EXP does give those little glass awards too, so you can also look forward to one of those up there. That's a little icon award. And so I have the 1, 2, 3. The fourth one hasn't come yet, but hopefully it'll be on its way here shortly. But so,
Well, I just want to add, I allowed my husband to retire this year.
that's awesome. That's
So
that's major. I mean, that's another
huge.
high five right there.
Yeah, huge. And I really do contribute that to this company.
Yeah. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love hearing that.
Yeah.
Well, Tammy, I also sent you a couple little questions, the Fab Four questions that I like to ask folks. What hobby or activity are you passionate about that you love pursuing outside of real estate?
So first of all, I think my faith is something that I love pursuing.
Yes.
So I love learning all I can about my faith and pursuing that. I love enjoying outdoors, which is why I live in Colorado.
Yeah, right.
And
I'm always a little jealous.
yeah, so we love to fish. We love to camp. Well, as my husband would call it, glamping.
Right.
Yeah. And I love crafting. So this time of year is when I kind of pull out all my craft stuff. I really love making things for people that I care about. So it's just something that I do.
Yeah,
So that's kind of my favorite things to do.
Cool.
When I'm not real estating.
Yeah. Question number 2. So what is the favorite book you've read in the past year?
So that's really hard. I read a lot.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of mixture of books, but self-improvement books I love.
Right.
And then of course faith, and then just relaxing, learning books. I'd say this year my favorite it's called Life as a Masterpiece.
Okay.
Design and Live a Life You Love Today. And it's written by Kathy Kristen and Hal Elrod. Okay. So one of the things in this book that Jim Rohn says you're the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with.
Yes.
So she kind of took it one step further and, really kind of an aha moment to me in regards to, am I surrounding myself with successful people, or the people that I want to be like? Not just successful, but, a good person, and energizing each other and striving to be the best that we can be, right?
Yeah.
So that I would say is probably my favorite book this year. I have a book that I read every year.
Oh yeah.
And I've put it on my list for every year. And it's Life Coaching for Successful Women.
Okay.
Powerful questions and practical answers.
Okay.
It is absolutely one of my favorite books.
Love it.
So definitely put that on your list, or for someone that is a female on your list.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
would I benefit from reading that book, or would I be able to glean some
You
things
know,
as
I
well?
think you would. I think a lot of her book is really, I mean, it does talk about women in general, but I think
Sure.
that a lot of her ideas and a lot of her what she strives to do is just, again, make you the best person you can be.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, when you're not reading and you're not out there glamping and doing all that, how do you give back to your community? Because I know you do, but share
Mm-hmm.
with us just a little bit about how you serve and volunteer in the community.
So prior to real estate, I was 16 years in banking, corporate banking,
Mm-hmm.
and I gave back in numerous ways, whether that be, the Chamber of Commerce or the Little League, or, I sat on numerous boards. And that was in a business aspect. And so the last couple of years, I've really, really I was searching for something to give back that was really meaningful, that really served people,
Yeah.
where I felt like I could really make a difference. So last year I found a group, and I found this group based on my personal need at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called PAL, which stands for Parents of Addicted Loved Ones.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I had a loved one, and I have a loved one that has addiction issues. And I was looking for some help at the time. And this group made such a difference in my life, in regards to, I can love him. I just can't control his decisions.
Yeah.
And, just not enabling him, but yet being supportive and loving him for just who he is. Right.
Yeah.
So, it touched me so much that I became a trained facilitator.
Love it.
And I now facilitate the group in our area, and work hard. I strive to make sure that we're helping as many people in our community as we possibly can, because addiction is everywhere. And it's not just substance abuse, it's not alcoholism, it's everything.
Yeah.
So I really feel blessed and rewarded in that aspect. And I'm really having a great time, and feeling like I'm really making a difference in my community.
I love that. There's incredible value there that you're bringing to the table to share from your experiences and the knowledge of you having walked this road, to then turn around and say, hey, let me help you walk this road. And love that. I know your heart is there. And so love that you have that opportunity and have been given a little bit of a platform for that. So thank you for sharing. One last question, and this is, kind of the hard question, because I know you're a hard worker and you enjoy what you do and you love it. But if you weren't doing real estate, what would you be doing?
It's funny because I read that question and I just kind of snickered and said, I'd be really bored. But, I do love to do other things when I have time. But, I think I love helping people. So regardless, I think in my whole career, regardless, it's been about helping other people. And looking at it from that perspective, I've actually thought about writing a book, when I have time. Um, Coaching, I think coaching, I would love to help other people. I have done some consulting work in the past for other things. And so I think that coaching would probably help fill me up.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been a thought. But there's a lot of coaches out there, a lot of real estate coaches out there.
Yeah, but
And then,
none of them have your voice though.
oh,
None of them
well,
have your experience and your voice. So don't discount what you have to offer there.
yeah. So, if I would have known getting into real estate 16 years ago what I know today, oh, I could have shaved like 5 years off at least.
And you can shave that 5 years off for somebody else. That learning
Absolutely.
curve can be shortened so that
Yep.
they ramp up faster. And
Yep.
love that.
Yeah. And it's really, just being consistent and looking at your business as helping others and not making money.
Right. Yeah.
There's lots of
That'll
things
come,
involved.
right? The money will come when you
Yep.
put other people first.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I think those couple things, just enjoying life.
Yeah.
I've always said, if I could just, live a good life, be a good person, do the best that I can, I would be happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I love it, Tammy. Really appreciate you joining me today, just hanging out a little bit. Love to sharpen one another in these conversations.
Absolutely.
And
Mhm.
again, thanks for sharing a little bit about your experience, your why, and just who you are. And so,
Well, I appreciate it, Mark. And like I said, love this company, not going anywhere.
yeah,
Absolutely not even thinking about it. And love the fact that I get to do business with people like you and others in the company.
yeah. Well, we're not done. We're just getting started, right?
Absolutely.
Love it.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Tammy. Have a great one.
Okay, you too, Mark.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.